Welcome back, writers. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to write a concluding paragraph. That is the last paragraph in your expository. You might remember this graphic from the first lesson, showing that your expository begins with an introduction, followed by body paragraphs. We usually write at least 3 body paragraphs, but you can write less. And then that is wrapped up with a conclusion. A conclusion is meant to reiterate the main points of your writing and then leave a lasting impression with your reader. Remember, your conclusion is meant to wrap up your piece of writing, remind the reader of your main ideas, as well as leaving the reader with lasting thoughts. Maybe you want them to be thinking something in particular when they are done reading your paper, and often the last sentence or the last few sentences is what lasts in their mind the most. So when writing our conclusion, we first write a sentence that restates the main idea. In our introduction, remember, the last sentence of the introductory paragraph was the big idea of this piece of writing, whereas in the conclusion, the first sentence of the conclusion restates that main idea, potentially in a new way or a different way than in the introduction. Also, we summarize the subtopics, and those are organized into body paragraphs. So we want to say something and bring up the main points of each body paragraph in the next sentence or sentences. Then we want to offer some final thoughts, and those final thoughts are most powerful when they connect the topic to big ideas, or they communicate again the importance of this topic and your thoughts on it. As you see from the introduction here, the main idea of this expository about pottery and ceramics would have been, and I've underlined it here for us to read together. For these reasons, pottery and ceramics changed the way people lived and expressed themselves in art in many ways. So I was going to go on in my expository and really describe in my body paragraphs the ways that pottery and ceramics changed the way people lived and how they express themselves in art. So in my conclusion, I'm going to go ahead and construct a sentence that again brings that main idea forward. So here we go. I tried. Clearly, pottery and ceramics changed the way people lived their daily lives and became a powerful medium for art. So I said the same thing as in the introduction, just in a slightly different way. Did you notice my use of the word clearly in the beginning of the concluding paragraph? Here's a list of other words that you can use to conclude and sum up your writing in your concluding paragraph. Now let's construct some sentences that help to summarize the main points of our expository. Again, like in the introduction, we are going to say a little bit about each of our main points. Here's what I wrote in the introduction, underlined. Clay is an earthen material that has many practical and artistic uses. Impressively, it becomes hard and durable when heated to extreme temperatures and therefore quite versatile. People invented kilns to fire clay into ceramic ware. So in my expository, that is what I discussed. And so in my conclusion, those are the main points that I am going to reiterate. Here again was my first sentence. And then I constructed these sentences to follow. As I have shown, clay was used for many practical and artistic uses. Because of its durability after being baked in a kiln, people used it for dishes, food storage, sculptures, and tablets, among other things. To end our conclusion, we will offer some final thoughts. And these final thoughts are most powerful when they connect our topic to big ideas that might really connect with the reader, and also to communicate, again, the importance of our topic. So here is what I tried. Remember, again, in our introduction, we talked about how this was unquestionably an important benchmark in human history. So that is a message I want to send home here. So here is what I tried. Pottery and ceramics remains incredibly relevant today for the same reasons it was a revolutionary discovery in human history. So again, I'm reiterating that it was a revolutionary discovery. And I wanted to say one last thought about how it is still relevant today. And really, I could go on and give a little more feelings there about how much I do love pottery. for many, many reasons, even making pottery myself. That could give a nice personal connection to end. So please do play around with these ideas. Try out some different sentences within your conclusion that follows this type of frame. And that is all for now. That concludes our expository writing lessons with this lesson on conclusions. Here again, you see our graphic to show where conclusions fit in to the structure of our expository. It is that last paragraph. And remember, it wraps up your writing, sums up the main points, and leaves a reader with lasting thoughts. Thanks so much for being here, writers. All the best in your writing. Take care.